Hey everybody, it's Matt McGovern here for the final project of Social Structure in Sports. First and foremost, I just want to thank Professor Nee on the great semester. I really benefited a lot from this class and hopefully can take some of the stuff I learned and put it out, you know. We will be talking about two quotes that we've seen throughout the semester this year. One is from Nelson Mandela and one is from George Orwell. Nelson Mandela's quote says, "Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to the youth in a language they understand. Sports can create hope where there once was only despair. It is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers. It laughs in the face of all types of discrimination." And George Orwell's quote here is, "Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up of hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasure in witnessing violence. In other words, it is a war minus the shooting." So what his quote means is just complete violence and a dystopian like society where sports is just not, you don't benefit from sports really at all. It's pretty much a negative. And Nelson Mandela is pretty much saying how sports are very powerful, how it creates a nice sense of community, sense of worth, sense of well-being, and how everyone can benefit from sports. And it is very powerful in general. So we got four questions here. What is the role of sport in US society today? How does the sport influence a broader society? What power structures intersect the relationship between sport and society? Do your viewpoints align more with Mandela or Orwell? So let's get into these questions. What is the role of sport in US society today? So sports are very important in the United States today. They bring people together, they create a sense of community and identity. I know when I played Little League, this is all they really talk about, just trying to create respect one another, treat others how you want to be treated. Don't showboat, don't do any boastful activity like that. Just shake hands at the end of the game. You know, that's pretty much what they taught me. Create a sense of community. They also help the economy by creating jobs and generating money through things like ticket sales and advertising. That's pretty much how sports management, our majors, can make a lot of money doing these activities, doing these jobs. Like, could be a social media manager, could be working with a team inside of their facilities, like at Madison Square Garden, could be working for them. These are great gateways and great ways you can make money in sport. And playing sports keeps people healthy mentally and physically. Sports also provide a platform for addressing social issues like racial and gender equality. And major sporting events are widely watched, like the Super Bowl, World Cup, Olympics, all these, and they drive advancements in media technology. And additionally, sports help improve international relationships and spread American culture around the world. How does sport influence broader society? So, sport just wants to, like I said previously, just create a sense of community and just help everyone. By help everyone, they generate. This is $1 billion industry. Sports, they generate billions of dollars throughout all these leagues, even each league like the NFL, and MLB, NHL, NBA. They generate so much, and they should really give back to the communities out here. And sports just offer entertainment, international relations, like NBA especially. the face of the league is pretty much European players, people from different countries, and I really think this is how we're going to push many more international players to join these leagues. And this plays a key role in various parts of society doing these. So that brings us to the third question. What power structures intersect the relationship between sport and society? The relationship between sport and society is shaped by several power structures. So we got economic. Economic power comes from wealthy individuals, companies, media, controlling team ownership, sponsorships, and broadcasting rights. Political power involves government and politicians using sport to promote national pride, push policies, and regulate sports through law. Social power is seen in how norms and values affect who plays a sport, how are they perceived, particularly around, race, gender, and social structure, social status. Institutional power lies with organizations like NFL, MLB, FIFA, NCAA that set rules and standards and media power shapes public opinion and generates revenue by controlling sports coverage. Educational power comes from schools and colleges that provide facilities and opportunities for young athletes. Together, these power structures influence participation, organization, and just create a societal impact on sports. We'll get to the last question. Does my viewpoint align closely with Mandela or Orwell? My viewpoint aligns more with Nelson Mandela and how sports can create the power to inspire and unite people and just bring a whole sense of community around. Like we see in the World Cup, Olympics, these countries, it's great what I see. These countries come together. Like I saw in the World Cup, the last World Cup, when Argentina won. The Argentinian fans are just strolling through the streets, celebrating, and they go outside Messi's grandmother's house and just start chanting his name. I thought it was something special, honestly. I really thought it was just binding everyone together, no matter, even win or lose. These countries, they mourn together when you lose and celebrate when you win. It's a great way. I side more with this because also how in social justice issues like Colin Kaepernick, Muhammad Ali, these athletes, it's honestly more beneficial and more powerful than governments in breaking down these racial issues. Through these high status figures like these athletes, we're more prone to listen to them and what they have to say because of their high status and how we view them, especially children. I see when I was a kid, I looked up to LeBron James as a player, and I wanted to be like him, but sadly that that doesn't happen. I feel like these athletes, just people look up to them so much, and this is how powerful sports really are with these issues, and I agree with Nelson Mandela's quote and how sports can be so powerful to change the world and power to inspire, unite people. So we got the integration of two social theories. So structural functionalism sees sport as a way to bring people together, promoting teamwork. It emphasizes how sports help society by encouraging exercise and socialization and forming an identity of oneself. On the other hand, conflict theory points out the inequalities in sports, like how some athletes have more advantages than others, like could be strength, height, speed. It also criticizes how money and profit often come before the well-being of athletes. So, like we see in the NBA, NFL, these contracts are ridiculous, some of them, but I think everyone's benefiting from it. Some people just totally disagree with how much these athletes are being paid, but if you look at it in the how much the sports business actually makes with all this gambling, all this viewership, all these TV rights, and all these streaming platforms, it's pretty fair salary for these athletes. So just by combining these ideas, we get a better understanding of how sports unite people and reflect social issues like inequality. We got two social institutions in sports. Sports are connected to education and the economy. In schools, sports teach teamwork, discipline, and offer opportunities for scholarship. However, there are worries about balancing academics and sports. In the economy, sports make a lot of money through events and advertising, creating jobs, but some athletes are exploited, and there are big pay gaps in who benefits economically. Despite these issues, sports play a big role in education and the economy, influencing society and reflecting its challenges. So that brings us to two demographic groups. Sports interact differently with the youth and older adults. For the youth, sports may help them stay healthy, learn teamwork, make friends. However, some kids may not have the access to sports. I know when I was growing up, I was very fortunate to have these facilities that I can go play, like the YMCA. Could go to a local park. I was very fortunate to play these sports, and I made many friends that are still friends to this day, playing when I was in like elementary school, middle school, and this is how I benefited from that. Older adults, on the other hand, they benefit from sport too, but most of the time it's just for them to stay active and connect with other adults. I know when I was in Florida, we had this condo. It was like an older demographic, I guess. And many people are out playing tennis, golf, pickleball. These sports really help bring the older people together, even though it's not really an older sport, but it's not, I guess it's less activity, less running or something, but it just helps you stay active. But yeah, they might face challenges like physical limitation or lack of programs tailored to their needs. But overall, sports offer many advantages. There are also barriers that some groups face in participating. And that brings me to the last question here. The point of resistance of social change in sports. The role of sports in the resistance and social change is significant. Athletes and sports organizations have used their platforms to speak out against social injustices, like we've seen most recently with the NBA bubble. After George Floyd's death, they wore all these slogans like "I can't breathe," "How many more?" "Don't shoot" on the back of their jerseys, and they also kneeled during the national anthem in protest of what was going on, the police brutality. Another example, like Muhammad Ali, Colin Kaepernick, these athletes protested racism, police brutality. And, sports events also provide spaces for solidarity and unity, bringing people together to support causes like gender equality, LGBTQ rights. Additionally, symbolic acts of resistance like raising fists or wearing protest shirt can inspire broader and social consciousness overall. Sports have the power to challenge power structures and all this stuff. And to conclude, I just want to go back and how I side with Nelson Mandela's quote, how really sports just bring a sense of community to everyone. And I totally agree with that. I just want to thank you all for listening. I also want to thank Professor Nee for the great semester we had. And thank you.